The backdoor secret to becoming a Buddha. Robes, caves, and Bodhi tree are not necessary. If you are sincere in your quest, I will take you through the back door and reveal to you the secret to becoming a Buddha. If you are a person with this raw form of DNA, lean in, for what I am about to reveal to you is a secret that will transform the whole of your life. This is quite possibly what you have been looking for your entire life, but the cosmetic messages of the world have led you astray. Let's begin. Questions are far more important than answers. For the key to solving anything is to keep refining the question until it is so incisive that the solution blossoms right in front of your eyes. I will ask pointed questions and follow the questions with a succinct answer, and this in turn will be followed by an explanation. I will be with you every step of the way. I will not lead you astray. As I said, the discourse is for the one who is truly serious. The first question is, why are you not already a Buddha? Now, that is too general a question, so we must refine it. What is it that stands in your way of becoming a Buddha? This is a much more precise question. Do you see how it focuses your attention? Let's refine it further. What is the one thing that stands between you and instant Buddhahood? Now that's an incisive question, because it focuses you even more. It trims all that fat and gets straight to the source. What is the answer to this question? The one thing that stands between you and instant Buddhahood is the mind. What do I mean by that? You see, the mind is a wild and insatiable force. It came into existence the moment you bought into the idea that you were an independent, flesh and blood, egoic entity. I don't refer to ego in the traditional sense of the word. To have an ego is not to be believed that you are grand and great. It is to believe that you exist at all. Your mind will now begin to snarl and get excited. So let me explain. You are not flesh and blood entity you believe yourself to be. You are actually a consciousness. But because you don't realize this in your heart, you live as a condensed form of matter known as flesh and blood human being. This flesh and blood human being is who you refer to as I. And the moment this idea of I comes into existence, the mind does as well. You then succumb to the belief that you were the mind. And now when it roams, you roam. When it becomes angry and emotional, you become angry and emotional. When it desires, you desire. You see, dogs were meant to run and bark. And when you see a dog run and bark, you think nothing of it because you understand that this is a natural behavior of a dog. But imagine that you tied one end of the leash to your dog and the other end of the leash around your neck. Yours would instantly become a tumultuous life, would it not? This is precisely what you have done with the mind. But the mind is such a subtle and clever entity that it is incredibly difficult to entertain the idea that it is separate from you. You have had rare moments of clarity in your life. Times when you have done something with perfection. And after it was complete, you sat back and marveled at your wonderful performance or creation. During this creation, you had zero interference. It was natural. It was effortless. You felt like a god in all his majesty. I know you have been told it is the zone, but no one ever told you what the zone really was. I've explored and experimented with this idea for over 20 years, and today I will share with you precisely what the zone is. And it coincides with the backdoor secret to becoming a Buddha. I will come to it shortly. So, if it is the mind that prevents you from becoming a living, breathing Buddha, what should you do about it? I will now share with you another insight that no one has ever told you. The mind cannot be calmed or tamed or changed. It only can be transcended. Now we come to the backdoor secret to becoming a Buddha. The backdoor secret to becoming a Buddha is to achieve the state of Atmaman, the mind of the spirit. What do I mean? You are incredibly tied to the belief that you are the mind. And just on the other side of that belief is the glory of Buddhahood. Clarity, the zone, nirvana, moksha, samadhi, enlightenment are the state of Atmaman. They are not states in which the mind is calm. They are the state in which the mind has disappeared. When there is no mind, there is no ego. When there is no ego, there is no manufactured self. And it is then that you begin to live as ever present consciousness. It is then that you become a Buddha. Your mind is likely asking loads of questions at this moment. These are questions I get from my clients all the time. If I don't have a mind, won't I lose my intelligence? Won't I go insane? Won't I become an emotionless stone? Your intelligence flows at about 20% capacity precisely because of the mind. The presence of the mind produces an endless barrage of thought and fears and worries. And these produce endless interference to the natural flow of your intelligence. You are far more intelligent without the mind than you ever will be with the mind. As for whether you will go insane, man is a creature who has a thought. The thought produces an emotion. The emotion produces a reaction. And the reaction produces another thought, which produces another emotion and another action, then another thought. Is this sanity to you? The truth, my friend, is that mind has made you schizophrenic. The only way to sanity is to live beyond the mind. As for becoming an emotionless stone, all the wars in the world are not caused by people. They are caused by minds. Mind makes a man ruthless, for it functions through ego, and ego knows no limit and no compassion. In the state of Atmaman, you actually become the best you that is humanly possible. All that emanates from you is perfect, because the source of your words and actions are no longer the mind, but pure consciousness. Your life becomes a masterpiece, and each of your actions are a work of art. You achieve the state in which the seer becomes the seen. You see everything in high definition, because the mind no longer stands as a veil between you and that which you choose to look at. And then something very interesting happens. The mind that was once your master now becomes your slave. Only now you are able to use it to move mountains and part oceans. For your entire life, you have only been told the punchlines, haven't you? About how the mind is the greatest tool and how it can move mountains. But no one ever told you that in order to make the mind a tool, it must first be transcended. Half truths are far more dangerous than the outright lies. And the truth is that transcendence comes first, and then the mind curls up next to you like a lapdog. I ask you this, my friend. Can you think of any greater way in which to live your life? This is the direct journey to become a Buddha. And unless it begins today, it will never begin. For even if tomorrow does come, it will never come as today. The earth is my witness.